These elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about, I want to talk about Todd
You
Blanche.
have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk about...
Your elections in this country, we're like a third world country.
But, sir,
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
You said over and over again that you were robbed in 2020.
Yeah, totally.
How do you think you were robbed? Everybody always cuts you off. I'm going to allow...
Well, they not only cut you off. Well, what I'd rather do is we'll do it another time, and I would bring in papers that you would not believe, so many different papers. That election was so crooked. It was the most crooked election. Okay. We could go into this stuff. We could go into the ballots, or we could go into the overall. I'll give you another one.
Are you going to present this ever?
We're about to go into the Trump and Kristen Welker exchange. And let me just tell you guys, after this, he's done, guys. By the way, 40% of the people who are watching my YouTube are not subscribed. So make sure you hit that sub button. All right, you get all the good gossipy shit and you laugh your ass off. He went on a rampage about the rigged election, the rigged, you know it's rigged, you're corrupt, everything's rigged. And she's like, where is the evidence? Let's see the evidence. Oh, you don't want to go to court? You don't have standing? Okay, just post it on Twitter. You have 100 million Twitter followers, bro. If you got this hard evidence of, election cheating, go ahead and post it on Twitter. Every reporter in the world will pile on that shit and get to the truth. Easy peasy, guys, right? But he won't. He is a liar. When he's confronted with his lies, he will freak out, and he knows he's telling lies, and that he gets up and walks away. Frustrated crybaby. 6 years ago, Fox News paid out $787 million because of Tucker Carlson lying about Dominion voter machines in a defamation suit. And in addition to that, guys, in 6 years, he has never presented so much as an iota of evidence. Not a screenshot on Twitter, not a link to some document, not a clip of some phone conversation. Nothing. Not an ounce. Not one drop. I really have to say, this is one of the most batshit things I have ever seen in my life. When anybody else gets up and runs away from an interview, they get all kinds of pushback. But Donald Trump, all of his little psycho fans are sucking the knob, boss. They are polishing it up, dude. They're like, oh, come here, Trumpy. Oh, yeah, give me that knob. Oh, yeah, good knob, good knob. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at Trumpy's knob. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go, knob.
Crooked politicians, and they should be reimbursed for that.
Do you think anyone who attacked police officers on January 6th should get taxpayer money?
I wouldn't be inclined to say so, but I have to see it. I can tell you this, 97% of those people, you look at them, the FBI or whoever it was, because you had a lot of crooked cops, you had dirty cops. Comey was a dirty cop.
Well,
a guy like Bolton was a dirty cop.
But there's no evidence.
Wait a minute. You think Comey was a straight
people
cop?
Who pleaded guilty to assaulting police
Comey
officers.
was a dirty cop.
No, but
they
had FBI, who assaulted police
listen
officers.
to me. They had FBI agents ushering them into the building. They had FBI go into the building. Those people walking around, they're looking, oh, isn't this nice? They weren't in. They were being ushered into the building.
Sir. There's no evidence.
You had a bunch of dirty cops, and frankly, what they did was weaponization of our government.
But sir, there's no evidence of that. More than 1,000 people.
No, there's none. You know what you do? Try looking at the tapes one time.
Would you take it off the table?
Look at the tapes one time.
But 172 people did plead guilty to assaulting police officers.
You know why they pled guilty?
Should they be exempt?
Because they told they were going to jail for 15 years if they didn't.
Should they?
They pled guilty because they were frightened. They went down. They were ushered into a building. Many of them were arrested without even going into the building.
You'd be okay with them receiving taxpayer dollars?
The people were destroyed by dirty cops and by weaponization. Many of those people should be compensated. Now, with that being said, as I understand it, the weaponization fund was going to set up a group of people, people that could be picked by anybody, fair people, smart people, and they will go on an individual case basis.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the weaponization fund. I love the idea because people like you, the fake, dirty press, the crooked press, people like stupid Biden, he's not smart enough to know what's going on, but people that surrounded him, surrounded his beautiful, resolute desk in the Oval Office, what they did to the lives of people, they destroyed people. They sent people to jail who did nothing wrong.
All right, just to be very clear, there's no evidence of what you're saying. But let me ask you about Todd Blanche. Let me ask you about Todd Blanche.
Listen to me.
Let's talk about Todd Blanche.
There's tremendous evidence. There's nothing but evidence.
The
election was rigged. It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's happening again right now in California.
You've never presented evidence.
It's happening
the
right now in California.
Rigged.
Right now, it's look at what's happening in California.
Where's the evidence to that?
It's
the
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California. It's no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with.
That's how they count.
You know why they're doing that? Because they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
all
that?
I have to do is look. All I have to do is look.
That's not evidence.
And I listen to people, and let's see what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's appropriate?
That's how they count the votes in
California. Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a winner?
State and local officials acknowledge they are slow. They're urging.
No, they're crooked.
They're urging the votes to be counted quickly. That's how they vote in California.
They're crooked, just like you're crooked. Your press is crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked.
To be fair, I'm not crooked, but let's
Well, you play right into their hands.
Let's continue.
You're either crooked or you're stupid. You play right into their hands with this rap. You know that these elections are rigged. Your network knows that they're rigged. You know that I won an election in a landslide, and I got 94% bad press.
But, Mr. President,
you know why I got that? Because you have no
evidence.
credibility.
But you've never presented evidence that it was rigged. Let's keep talking about. I want to talk about Todd Blanche.
You have more evidence. There's more evidence than ever presented.
Let's talk about
your elections in this country. We're like a third world country.
But, sir,
your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But, Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain with you for an hour, on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what? A country can never be great with a dishonest press.
We traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Dude, so there we go. Dude, we got to talk about this because there was like an escalation here, guys. Okay? Because look what happened. First off, she started talking about the weaponization fund. And then he went on, dirty cops, dirty cops, dirty cops. And then he went on about Comey. Oh, what? You don't think Comey was dirty? And she wasn't even talking about Comey. First off, Comey got fired 2017. Dude. So, all right, so Comey got fired 3.5 years before January 6, 2021. So, yeah. All right. That's problematic, bro. That almost a full 4 years. So Comey had nothing to do with this. Now, the other thing about this is Trump saying, oh, they were just like taking a tour, guys. But like, guys, they were not taking a tour. Okay? They were full on assaulting this shit.
So we just stormed the fucking Capitol, took the motherfucking place back. That was so much fun.
So much America. So much America.
More voters. January 6th will be a day in infamy.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, again, with their little white power symbols, guys. Proud Boys. But look at that shit. Okay? These are the people that Trump wants to pay money to. And all he does is these baseless accusations, right? They gaslight you. And when you say, hey, just show me your proof, he has no proof, guys. He has none. None. There's never been any proof. Dude, it's 6 years later, guys. If the election was stolen 6 years ago and this guy's got proof, what do you have? You have screenshots, you have documents, you have video recordings, tape recordings. Put it on the internet, boss. Now, I want to show you a Joe Rogan clip.
So I want to talk about 2020 because you said over and over again that you were robbed in 2020.
Yeah, totally.
How do you think you were robbed? Everybody always cuts you off. I'm going to allow.
Well, they not only cut you off. Well, what I'd rather do is we'll do it another time, and I would bring in papers that you would not believe. So many different papers. That election was so crooked. It was the most crooked election.
Okay, but give me some examples of how.
Well, let's start on the top and the easy ones.
Okay.
They were supposed to get legislative approval to do the things they did, and they didn't get it. In many cases, they didn't get it.
What things?
Anything.
Legislative approval
like for extensions of the voting, for voting earlier, for this,
Right.
all different things. By law, they had to get legislative approvals. You don't have to go any further than that. If you take a look at Wisconsin, they virtually admitted that the election was rigged, robbed, and stolen. They wouldn't give access in certain areas to the ballots because the ballots weren't signed. They weren't originals. We could go into this stuff. We could go into the ballots, or we could go into the overall. I'll give you another one.
Are you going to present this ever? Do you think like?
Let me just give you one more before. 51 intelligence agents come up that the laptop was from Russia.
All right, again, now he spins off to the laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop. But do you see that?
This group is stupid, but they're vicious. They're stupid people, but they're vicious people.
The 2020 elections, you say you have all this evidence that it was rigged. Why haven't you put this evidence in a consumable form? In what?
Oh, I did. I have books on it. And by the way, books have been written on it. We have an author named Hemingway who is a great writer. She wrote a book on it, but many books have been written on it. There are books that are. What's happened is judges don't want to touch it. They would say you don't have standing. They didn't rule on the merits. They ruled the merits never got there. The judges didn't have what it took to turn over.
Look at those clips. In those clips I showed you, he said we have documents upon documents. He said we have all this information. Wisconsin's basically admitted it. Like they changed a whole bunch of laws. What laws? Oh, everything. They changed this, they changed that. No specifics. And Rogan let him off. He didn't press him. Why don't you show me the documents? Do you have any in your phone right now? Can we meet in 2 days and look at some of these documents? You say you have these documents. This is a very big election. We're going to have another meeting in 2 days. I want you to bring the documents. Or if not, I'm going to have to assume that you're, in fact, not telling the truth. Rogan gave him the election. He gave him the room. He gave him the, yes, he let him off. He didn't pressure him. He let him change the subject. Kristen Welker did not. Okay? You see that? He's fucking lying. They don't have any evidence because he's lying. Okay? He is lying like he lied about cutting our energy bills, like he lied about no new wars, like he lied about Jeffrey Epstein, saying Epstein was a hoax, lying about his involvement. He lied about being on Epstein's plane. He is just lying on lying on lying on lying on lying. And then he attacks her and calls her dirty. And then in the middle of this rant, guys, he said that we won by a landslide, is what he said. Dude, you didn't win by a landslide, you ugly MFer. You won by 1.4%. That's virtually nothing, dude. You didn't even get 50% of the votes. It's just fucking disgusting. And the way he talked to her, calling her a crooked and you know, stupid and just personal attacks on her, right? What a fucking prick, guys. I can't wait. Okay? I can't fucking wait for the Pine Box. The world will rejoice He's running away, guys. He's still lying about an election that he's never shown proof. And what does he do? He runs away. He runs away, guys. That's why we win, guys. Okay? That's why we're going to win, guys. Because he has to run away. Right? This is why we're going to win. It's like no matter how much power Trump has, he's going to fucking run, boss. He will run. Every time when the heat gets too hot, he's going to run because he's a coward. Okay? He is a huge, massive, insecure, incapable coward. And you can't be defeated by a coward, guys. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.